to our The Teacher Voice. This is an hour show that aims to give teachers the opportunity to talk on air about their unforgettable journey, thrilling adventures, share their splendid wisdom to inspire and give hope to our listeners and viewers. This show airs by the Philippine Las Vegas radio station located in the heart of Las Vegas every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. and Eastern Time. And in the Philippines, it's Sunday, 9 in the morning. I am Teacher Judy, your host. My co-hosts for tonight are Teacher Pasita Ross from New York City.
Hi.
And our dear Tita Josie there from Las Vegas.
Hello from Las Vegas.
Okay, before we proceed sa program natin, let us greet our teacher muna, Tita Josie and Tita Paset.
Okay. Our guest for tonight is the campus administrator of
Tita Josie, mag-greet muna tayo sa mga fans na.
I'm sorry.
I'm excited ang ating Tita Josie, na mag-greet ng bio, Okay, Tita Josie, greet muna tayo.
Okay. Audience.
Sino mag-una? Tita Paset?
Okay. Magandang gabi, magandang umaga, magandang hapon to anywhere and everywhere na inaabot ng aming show, The Teacher Voice, and especially to my kababayan in Masbate, Philippines. Kumusta kayo? And I hope everybody is well and safe.
Thank you, Tita. Tita Josie.
Hi, si Josie Harrison dito sa Las Vegas, Nevada. Anak ko, 114 po kami dito. Pero sanay na kami sa init and we love it. Stay with us and enjoy our show for tonight.
So we will see what is in New York. Tita Pasita, what is our temperature right now?
It was 73 a while ago.
Oh, Tita, 73 lang. Nag-enjoy ka na. That's nothing. Okay. But anyway, I want to greet also my friends, my family back home in the Philippines, Bacolod City, Negros Occidental. Our city is known as Bacolod City, the city of smile. That's why ngiti lang si Tita Jude all the time. So, have a wonderful day there sa mga teachers in Negros Occidental. Nandito kami and our interviewee tonight was from Negros Occidental High School. All right, Tita Josie, it's your turn to read the bio note.
Okay, I will be introducing our special guest for tonight. She is the campus administrator of ISCOF, which stands for Iloilo State College of Fisheries. Barotac Nuevo Campus has enjoyed a fulfilling career as a distinguished guidance counselor and transitioning into accreditor, ISO auditor, research chairperson, challenger, a coach, observer, facilitator, trainer, leader, research expert. She's an administrator and teacher who studies how teaching, leading, and mentoring has the power to change a student's life. She is the recipient of the 2014 and 2015 award as the top scorer in the training hosted by the Accrediting Agency of Chartered Universities in the Philippines, and the 2015 Presidential Citation Award given by ISCOF.
And if I may continue introducing our special guest for tonight, throughout her professional life, she has been a guiding force in mentoring students to become researchers, trainers, models, and leaders in their chosen careers. Today, she has commenced on a new path in this pandemic time, which enables her to come up with a project in response of the academe to the pandemic. The CHED, or the Commission on Higher Education, funded program called the ISCOF Cares, or the Iloilo State College of Fisheries, Collaborative Actions in Response to Educational Setback. Wow. Judy, please continue.
She continues to be a dynamic leader, speaker, and committed public servant, always open to new ideas, which leads her to her current journey. To discuss her professional journey and how to teach with power to transform lives, let's give a firm thumbs up for this likable lady. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my BFFs, best friends forever for 34 years, Dr. Emmeline Butantan Ligasan. Good evening. Not good evening.
Welcome.
In the Philippines, it's good morning. Hi, Lynn. It's nice to see you here.
Yes, thank you very much, Nang Judeline, Ma'am Pasita, and then Tita Josie for the kind introduction. So I actually fondly called Teacher Jude as Nang Judeline because we have been friends for a long time. We meet at Negros Occidental High School.
Correct.
So, good morning,
First,
world.
right.
Yes, good morning, world, and good morning, Philippines. So, good morning here in the Philippines and good evening there sa inyo.
Right.
So, and it is really an honor and a privilege, a great privilege for me to be invited here. So, I have been asked by Nang Jude to be the guest of this particular show. And hamba ko gani sa yabaw ng Judugangan, mapagita nga ako, no, bra? But,
I understand that.
Tita Josie, may classmate
Yes.
ako ngayon. Okay, so wow, it's so wonderful. She could not say no to me because when she invited me to be to speak in one of the seminars there virtually, so I did not say no too. Now this time I said, can I invite you? So she could not say no, and it's our pleasure that you are here with us.
Yeah.
Dr.
Welcome to the
Emmeline
show.
Ligasan. Yeah.
thank you very much.
Right. When I gave this to Tita Pasit and Tita Josie, actually your biodata, and Tita Pasit commented like, "Wow, she's very accomplished. How old is she?" And then I said, "Yeah, she's very young. She's just
Very young.
50s
Very
only, right?" Okay. So this is it, Ems. We are going to ask you some questions that you can inspire. Actually, our radio program is all about our stories can inspire other teachers and students and parents also.
That's right.
Tita Pasit,
Yeah.
Pasita, can you ask?
Yeah, sure. I am very, very curious and very much interested in the ISCOF Cares. You said it's a program by the CHAD and that is in response to the setbacks ng mga bata during the pandemic in their education. Could you please tell us, our audience, about that?
Okay, thank you very much, Tita Pasit.
You're welcome.
ISCOF Cares, or we actually call it the Collaborative Actions in Response to Educational Setback, is actually a proposal made by Iloilo State College of Fisheries. Particularly, I am the project leader of that particular project, wherein we actually have conceptualized some activities intended for the faculty members in times of pandemic, because we all know that nang dumating yung pandemic dito sa Philippines, it actually caught us all by surprise. We're in schools, we're actually not prepared on what to do with regards to the occurrence of the pandemic. So what we did was to come up with a proposal on which focused on the training of our faculty members to migrate to the traditional method of teaching that we have been using before the pandemic, to the new normal that we have to adjust to with the kind of situation that we are in, and we also have to adjust to the needs of the students right now. So that is why it is actually a series of training where our teachers teachers will have to immerse on, particularly on the preparation of modules, because here in the Philippines, we are actually adapting the modular instruction. And at the same time, it is also training of the teachers in full migration to the use of the learning management system. So these are actually the focus of the ISCOF Cares. This has been funded by the Commission on Higher Education, and we are very thankful to the CHED for giving us the funding to proceed with our training.
How is that different? Like you mentioned, it's going away from the traditional. So how is it different from the traditional method? Besides, of course, the modular style of teaching these days. So how else is it different?
Okay, so it's actually not that different from the things that we have been doing before as teachers, because we have been adapting already modular instruction before.
Oh.
Pero it's actually kind of blended. We have to do this particular module to be given to the students. However, this time, students were not allowed. We are not allowed to conduct face-to-face instruction,
Right.
and we really have to prepare the module in such a way that the students will yung hindi sila mabibigla sa ganitong sistema. And we have to make sure also that that we have to maintain quality of teaching despite this difficult situation that we are in right now. So dito kami nahihirapan because of course before yung modular per lesson lang, pero ngayon we really have to prepare the whole course, a module to be given to our students. No? So we are actually adapting different modality. Like for example, we have to conduct a survey first on the students' end, whether they have an access to the internet, or if not, then they have to adopt the pure modular instruction. There are others who have somehow connectivity, and they opt to use the blended instruction, meaning at times they can see virtually, they can have the lectures virtually, but at times also they have to be given with this module to work on.
Modules. Uh-huh.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this nationwide or is it just in Iloilo?
It's actually the particular project, which is ISCOF Cares, is actually only intended to all the faculty members of Iloilo State College of Fisheries.
Okay.
But other state universities and colleges are also adopting some their particular strategy and modality to address their particular students, because the students have different needs.
Of course. Oh, that's very, very commendable.
Beautiful.
So,
Very
how
good.
is it going? Ayos ba ngayon? I mean, is it going on smoothly, or are there things that need to be,
Is it working out right now very well?
Yes, Nang Jude, even before the CHED has given us the funding, we already started with it because we cannot wait for the funding to come before we have to introduce this modality to our faculty members. We have to respond quickly. And we have to make sure that our method of instruction is relevant to the needs of time.
Correct.
So right after pandemic hits Philippines, our country, last March, we already have prepared for the coming semester. So we immersed our teachers in modular instruction by conducting series of training with them. So the one we already have conducted that by balancing also introducing topics like how they have to cope with the new normal, the topics particularly on mental health, which actually Nang Jude was also invited to be one of the speakers during that particular session. So they have been immersed into different topics, to prepare them to this new normal that we are actually calling right now. And with the funding of CHED, we have to go through ISCOF Cares 2.0. So nag-level up na yung mga topics namin. And we will, and this time, we have to introduce the full migration of the faculty members to the use of learning management system to effectively manage the learning and teaching to our students.
Right.
So what is the LMS that you are using?
We are actually the Google Suite. We are using that, and because here in the Philippines, so actually one of the positive effect of this pandemic is that we were forced to use the latest technology, where some of our faculty members are actually have apprehension of using.
Yeah.
So ngayon, we really have no other choice but to adapt it, and we have to introduce it to our teachers slowly, because of course some of the faculty members are not tech savvy, and we also have to look into their concern that this one they also have to learn step by step.
Of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you are using the Google Suite right now.
Yes,
Okay.
Nanj.
So that is good for all subjects that you are having in there.
Yes.
Okay. So you are not using like Moodle, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. So in case, let me know.
Yeah, okay.
All right. I have a question. In your, I am very impressed of your involvement as a CHED. You have it here as CHED accreditor,
Mhm.
right? So
Yes.
you are one of the accreditors of CHED. Can you tell us about this? And this is very exciting because when you say you are one of the accreditors of CHED, ang mga schools talagang nandyan sila. Takot ang mga mga universities. So tell us about your involvement in here.
Correct.
Okay, so actually, it's not actually under CHED. AACOP is a separate organization. It's a third party. It's another organization that actually looks into the accreditation level of
quality.
state universities and colleges. AACOP actually stands for Accrediting Agency Accrediting Agency. Ano ba yun?
Of colleges and
Universities.
universities.
Yes, so of chartered colleges and universities of the Philippines. So yun yung ako. And we actually were trained to be an accreditor, and it's actually an intensive training that we have to go through for you to be able to be qualified as an accreditor of AACO. So I am luckily, when I attended the training last 2014, among the 400 plus faculty members all around the country, I actually ranked one during the
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Number one.
You're the number one.
Yeah, and I am the only representative of the Iloilo State College of Fisheries that time. And to my surprise, I actually ranked one from among the 400 participants during that time.
Bakit? Anong ginawa mo?
I just listened to the lectures, and then
May exam?
yeah, it's actually my exam before ka ng Jude makapass for you to be able to be qualified as among their pool of experts of accreditors. You have to go through the exams, the simulation, the training, and you have to pass the criteria that they have set for you to be able to be considered as an accreditor of AACO.
Oh my gosh! BFF!
Wow.
Yes, and
It's
the
an
next
honor.
yeah, yes, ma'am. And the next year in 2015, I attended again another training of AACO hosted by AACO. This was actually the training on senior accreditors, and I actually ranked second during the
Oh my
the test given again.
Ako yung believe ko basta may mga test, siya na yung number one. Ako lang ang chika-chika nila noon.
I have a question. Josie, may question ka?
No, go ahead then, Asis.
I have a question. Kasi AACO is the colleges and universities, state colleges and universities of the Philippines. But I also noted in your short bio note, you are also involved in the ISO. Correct. Can you please tell us about ISO and what you do in that?
Okay. ISO, as an ISO auditor and accreditor is somewhat similar because they actually speak about quality. So ISO is actually the standardization of organizations, international standardization of organization. It's actually a Greek word coming from the word isos, which means equal. So as an ISO auditor, we also have attended an intensive training on this one for you to be able to be qualified to be an ISO auditor. And this is actually a very good check on the quality of all the state universities and colleges in the Philippines, not only SUCs, but all other organizations who actually subjected themselves into an ISO, because we have to be at par with the standards set by the international community.
Correct.
And luckily, ISCOF also passed the standard, and every year we have to go through the process of audit for you to be able to be given the certificate. So my role as an ISO auditor is that I have to ensure that quality is being observed in the organization. So before yung external audit, kami na mga internal auditors will have to check on the processes of the college or of the institution to see whether it is in order, to see whether the processes have been standardized and properly followed.
Regulated, right? So my question is this: the ICOF, right?
ISO.
No, the other one.
ISCOF.
ISCOF. No.
AACOP.
AACOP, right. AACOP. So when you say AACOP, it's Chartered Universities and Colleges. Is this private and government?
This is actually a private organization, but this is also run by faculty members coming from the different state universities and colleges. So this particular organization is actually a group of faculty members na experts sa kanilang field, kasi you will not be allowed to accredit as a program na hindi line ng specialization mo, within your line of specialization. So this was actually organized by a group of faculty members also. Some are actually retired faculty members who actually have the passion to do the accreditation. And it has been running for a long time already. So this is actually an organization na prestigious, no? Here in the Philippines.
May track
So
record.
si Sir Manuel Corpus po ang nag-put up nito, and until now, so this has been recognized as a prestigious organization who are actually credited to conduct accreditation with the state universities and colleges here.
Okay, the colleges and the universities that you are checking, right? Because of the standards like that, regulate the standard of their academic standard. You go to private colleges and universities or only for public?
This is only intended for state universities and colleges, public schools, public colleges and universities. We have a separate organization looking into the private institutions in the Philippines.
Right.
So, ano lang ito, sa mga state universities and colleges lang. To see to it that they are actually also at par with the standard that has been set.
Yeah, there's also what they call the PASCO, right? That's for all
Yes.
private schools na yun. And then
Yung PASCO.
Yung PASCO, yeah. And for Catholic schools, they have the CEAP, Catholic Education Association of the Philippines. Ang question ko ngayon sa iyo, Emeline, is when you do the accreditation, the auditing, and then, of course, some organizations and schools are not perfect. They somehow would have a flaw here and there. So, how do you rate an organization or a school that's almost flawless this or up to this standard? And what do you do about those organizations and schools that do not meet the standards? What do you do?
Okay. We actually have a standard or a criteria to follow.
Criteria.
So, yes, we have to be very objective and professional in our rating because we have to follow certain standards, no? Kasi nakataya rin doon yung pangalan mo as an accreditor.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, and we have to look into certain areas, particularly on the vision, mission of the state universities and colleges, their faculty members, the qualifications of their faculty members, their curriculum, their support to students, the library, the conduct of the research, extension services, their laboratories, their administration. So we have
How
to
about
actually
the
look
fees?
into 10 areas.
How about
Yes,
the
Angela.
fees, like schedule fees, their tuition, their like that?
Yes, they have to follow the standard set by the Commission on Higher Education. So,
By the CHED.
yes.
Oh.
So, lahat ng mga areas na yan, tinitingnan, and what's actually good with this accreditation process is that, syempre, nag-i-improve yung school because we have to, anong tawag dito?
To
We
follow
have to
the
buy-
standard.
Yes,
Yes.
we have to buy this one. Kung walang school nito, kailangan mo kung bumili, or you have to really come up with this one for you to be able to pass the criteria that is being set. So, kung hindi ka makakapasa, hindi ka talaga makakapasa dyan. So, binibigyan niya ng rating. There is a particular set or standard set for that. And then bibigyan ka ng level 1, level 2, 3, and 4. So the highest levels is actually level 4. And you have to maintain that. Pero kung hindi mo kasi ma-maintain yan, mada-downgrade ka.
Mm.
And what's the
Wow.
effect of that? Pag na-downgrade ang school, of course, yung reputation at standing ng school will come down. But from your end, what is it for them kapag sila ay mababa? What's gonna happen to them?
Siyempre, ma'am, it's a very difficult process that you have to go through. That is why lahat ng mga state universities and colleges are actually looking or ensuring na we are within the standard or even beyond the standard set by the AACO. Kasi kung hindi, it will affect also the name of the institution na hindi kami nakakaroon ng ganitong level because yung benefits ng accreditation, first, it will actually lead or give prestige to member institutions that who have reached this far. And another thing is it will attract more students to enroll in your campus. It will also help, the process of accreditation will also help the institution or the program itself determine its strength and weaknesses and to do something about it. And of course, yung mga faculty members, kapag aware na sila sa standard, we have to do something to work for it, to attain it.
Yeah,
So,
right.
marami siyang mga benefits na naibibigay sa isang institution.
Of course. So what
You know, I have a question. When you said that you received funding for this particular group of people to be accredited, were you given assistance into maybe owning a computer because of doing on those modules? Are you supported by all the things that you need, or just money for enrollment or whatnot?
Okay, so this has something to do with ISCOF Cares, ma'am. Yes, it's actually this project was actually funded by the Commission on Higher Education, giving us 1.5 million pesos to be used for the training of our faculty members. So we are given 1 year to implement ISCOF Care. So ito yung assistance na binigay ni Commission on Higher Education sa ISCOF to implement ISCOF Cares. Kasi we all know that in state universities and colleges, limited din yung budget namin. But we are very glad that out of the survey that we have been conducted with the faculty members, so we have found out that majority of our faculty members do not have laptop yet. So our administration responded to it by giving laptops to our faculty members.
How many are there?
And they are also enjoying 300 pesos connectivity allowance every month.
Okay.
Oh,
that's
nice.
How many
And
are
we are-
there?
We actually have more than 200 plus faculty members at ISCOF. And all those faculty members who have no laptop yet were provided by the administration.
How many branches you have?
We have 5 campuses, one in Barotac Nuevo, another in TV, which is also located in Barotac Nuevo, one in San Enrique, Iloilo, Dumangas, and then Dingley.
Oh, wow.
You know, a while ago, Tita Paset asked, what is the, what do you call that? You know, when you take the test and you get your ranking, does that have a monetary equivalence or just position wise?
Wala yan.
No monetary value at all, but it's the prestige that you can get that when you attended training like this, very rigorous yung training namin, and I ended up ranked number 1 in the test given by the AACOP. To my surprise, actually, hindi ko ini-expect na mag number 1 ako doon sa test because a night before the examination, umuwi pa ako ng San Enrique Iloilo because fiesta namin doon. And I was actually the president of the faculty association, the Teachers and Employees Association of ISCOF that time, and I have to attend to my responsibility as president of that particular association kasi night namin yon. So umuwi pa ako doon sa Iloilo, sa San Enrique Iloilo just to attend that particular night, and then bumalik ako the next day and get the exam. And I never thought that I would pass it kasi hirap ng exams na yon. And luckily, when my name was called, na ako yung nag-rank 1, and na-surprise talaga ako. They actually gave me a book of AACOP as a reward and a certificate, of course. So it's really a prestigious yes,
Tell me their name and who to write because that's not fair. I think they should have given you something to count the examination out of 400. Wait,
Ang perang Pilipinas,
you
Diyos.
got a brain. I mean, my God, I want to make a complaint in the Iloilo whatever.
Actually, ang story namin ni Emeline, we are 5 na best friends, right? And we are all graduated bachelors in psychology. Right, sa mga values, sila sa values. So when we met before, we talk about just psychology, values. Ito sila, mga maro talaga. Siguro si Tita Jud lang ang hindi maro eh. So ito sila, grabe to ya. Mga ngayon may department head na mga ganon sila.
Jude,
Tita.
ikaw naman ay entrepreneur ka naman eh. That is something to crow about. Hindi
Yes, that's true. That's true, Tita Pasit.
Yeah.
Siya yung pinaka-street smart sa aming lahat eh.
Really? Okay.
But you know, Emeline, all kidding aside, what happened in that examination and you top it, I mean, there should be some incentive from them, really,
Kaya lang naman bigay.
to motivate the people, you know? Because, you know, seriously.
Josie, huli man daw at magaling, maihahabol.
Oh, may habol din eh.
Kahit 5,000 pesos na lang, $100 lang yan. Ilagay natin sa ISCOF na congratulations, Emeline.
Okay. On a more serious note, the teacher voice is about inspiring people and teachers, kahit na hindi teachers, And Emeline, you are an example.
Achiever, yeah.
Because of your achievement and your accomplishment.
Thank you, Tita.
You are a good role model for all the teachers.
Yes, true.
Can you please give us, or them, our audience, kami, retired na ako, so I'm not going back to the academy anymore. Anyway, can you give them an idea how to be able to accomplish that much that you have accomplished, or even just half of it, ano ba ang mga naging motivation mo? Anong iyong mga processes mo para magawa mo yung maraming ginagawa mo in order to be this and that and that? Can you please give us an idea of what you did?
You know, before you answer that, I think I have an answer for that. They should have the brain of Emily. If you don't have the brain, forget it.
Hindi ka cum laude ito siya? Cum laude ka, Len? Cum laude.
No, I actually just ended up having the award as proficiency awardee because during first year in college, I actually have difficulty in adjusting to the new environment, and I found my professors in college very strict and all. So parang na-culture shock ako coming from a province going to the city. So there was only one particular subject where I got a grade of 3.0. So yun yung nagpaano sa akin. Yes, na hindi ako makakuha ng cum laude. Pero kung wala sana yon, I should have been cum laude at West Visayas.
Sobra pa tuya sa cum laude eh. Dahil siya ito she is serving as a how will I say this? It's a masteral kag sa doctoral. Kay doctor na siya. Yung mga advisor.
Advisor.
Right. Sa research, right.
Alright.
Sige, ako magpa-advisor na lang ako ni sa kanya.
You don't have to be a cum laude to be able to achieve something like you do. So,
right?
ano mga strategy mo? Ano mga modus operandi mo para maging ganito, you know? It's not easy to be this and that like you have.
Right.
Give us an idea.
Okay, actually looking back at all my achievements, Tita Pasit, what I did was to just give my best shot in everything that I do.
Okay.
Kasi kung may ibibigay mo yung lahat, wala kang pagsisisihan.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, hindi ko naman, like for example, I am now the campus administrator of one of the campuses of ISCOF. Hindi ko pinangarap yon. I never have imagined myself to be a campus administrator. Pero, siguro it just paid off what I have planted na soko. Kasi in everything that was assigned to me, I just did all my best.
Your best.
So,
Okay.
I give my heart into it. So, kaya hindi nagiging mahirap yung trabaho para sa akin because I enjoyed everything. Like when I was given the task to chair the research department in ISCOF San Enrique campus before, matagal pa pinag-isipan ko bago ko tinanggap yon kasi most of our faculty members dreaded that particular position kasi ang hirap din naman yung research and development. So when I actually accept the offer, the challenge given to me, akala ko hindi ko magagawa yon because of course I have no background when it comes to research. Pero inaral ko talaga. Inaral ko yun. And I am very proud to say that I have been a role model to our faculty members there in conducting research. So we were able to have completed 25 researches in a year. So that's a big help para sa aming institution for our SUC leveling and ranking. And there, because I serve as a role model na paano ko ma-encourage yung ibang faculty members to conduct research, I have to conduct one. I have to do it myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Bago ko sila ma-encourage na, uy, let's conduct research. No? Kasi baka sasabihin nila, wala ka mang nagawang research ni isa. So paano mo kami ma-convince that we have to do so?
That's true.
So ano na research ang ginawa mo?
If you have seen it ng Judah doon sa na-send ko sa'yo. For 10 years that I have been into as chair of research and development, we have a lot of researches conducted. So particularly, we focus on, ako as a guidance counselor kasi na lumalabas talaga yung pagiging guidance counselor ko. So we focus on bullying. Now this time we look into the perspective of the bully. something like that. So, kasi yung ibang researchers actually look into bullying per se, but this time we look into the other side, the perspective of the bully themselves. Bakit nila ginagawa yun? Bakit sila nagbubully and all? And we have we also go into, since our school is also an agricultural college, so we go into the farmers' practices on organic farming and all that. So waste management practices of the college. What else? We are into action researches on how to come up with an intervention to answer the problem that we are facing right now. So marami. We make sure that every year, ako particularly, every year at least meron ako apat na research, and it actually helped me in my promotion, no? Because here in the Philippines, when you conduct research like that, and you have to present it to international forum, national conventions, these researchers actually bring me to places. And for one, I have been to Malaysia 3 times already, just presenting my research.
Your studies. Okay. Yeah, it gives you points, di ba? Yung mga activities nyo, it gives you points in order for you to gather this much and then rise in your parang promotion na rin yun. So, how many researches do you do, does ISCOF do in a year, on the average?
On my personal, yung akin na ginagawa, kailangan makagawa ako ng at least 4 in a year. Because we have a target of 25 sa isang campus lang namin. So, kailangan makagawa ko ng 4. And then the rest of that, sa ibang mga faculty members din. Yes, we do the collaborative researches depending on sa field of specialization ng mga faculty. And I'm very glad that before I left ISCOF San Enrique campus, I was able to leave a mark on our research department and imbibe among our faculty members the culture of research. So kahit nawala na ako doon, they still love doing research.
Dapat pala pag wala na si Secretary Briones, ikaw ang pumalit.
Yeah. Correct. Yes.
Dapat. You are very much qualified. I could see that.
Thank you very much, Lita Paset.
Yes. Okay.
You're welcome.
I have a question, Ems. Yung sabi mo na research kayo, how many, you have 5, right? You have 5 campuses. All right. So, do you have funding on this? When you do research, where do you get?
Yes, we actually have allocated certain amount for the funding, but since of course we are a government institution and kulang ang budget when it comes to research, what I am actually proud of is that kahit wala kaming budget, we have to shell out from our own pocket just to conduct researches like this.
Right.
So sometimes you really have to get out of your way para ma-hit mo rin yung target na yun eh. Kasi kung hindi, and we have to wait for the funding lang, wala ding mangyayari. So many times researchers will have to spend money just to conduct researches.
So in one research, how much? Approximately, how much money that you have to spend?
Yeah.
It actually depends, pero it would range from yung mga simple researches lang na you can conduct it within the school. You can have a budget of 5,000 to 100,000 or more kung you have to develop something, a gadget perhaps, or you have to conduct experimental researches or developmental researches. So depende din yun. We have to make sure na yung research na pinipresent ni faculty member is aligned with the research trust of the college. Correct. So kung naka-align yun, then i-fund yun ng school. Pero if not, some of the researchers are actually, of course, spending their own money in order just to comply with the requirements. Yeah. Well, anyway, babalik din naman sa'yo. You will get points out of that. And it will bring you to places, like for example, yung pupunta ka ng kung saang school, to present your research, funded din yun ng school. the school will have to spend
Money for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't that wonderful, guys? This woman,
I have one last question to Emmeline. Emmeline, you are, that's ISCOF, right? College of Fisheries. How much research have you done in terms of improving our fishery industry and, that kind? Ano ba?
Okay. The particular research topic, yung mga faculty members namin coming from the TV campus ang nagkakandak doon, ma'am. Kasi doon sa yung 5 campus na yon, iba-iba yung yung focus nila or yung focus namin. Like for example, the main campus or the TV campus focuses on the fisheries. Ang Bingley at saka San Enrique focuses on agriculture. BN campus, where I am connected right now, we focus on IT, information technology, and yung isang campus namin, Dumangas, iba na naman yung focus nila.
Oh, okay.
So, yun.
All right.
Okay, I have a question. How many courses you have in your school? What courses
Okay,
you
sa
have?
ISCOF Baratak Nuevo campus alone, we offer Bachelor in Secondary Education major in English, Bachelor of Elementary Education, Bachelor of Information Technology, Bachelor Hotel Management, HM, and Bachelor in Industrial Technology major in Automotive, Electricity, and Electronics.
Oh, wow. Do you
You
have
have the-
masters in there?
Yes, Ma'am Jude. We also offer a master's degree
Graduate school.
program, a graduate school, doctorate program.
You have doctorate programs too.
Yes
Wow.
po. Yeah.
So the doctorate, how many
How many courses?
specialties?
How many?
Specialties.
Marami din. We have the Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Technology, Doctor of Philosophy in Instructional Leadership, majors in English, Mathematics, Social Science, marami.
Wow.
Halos lahat ng mga courses nandito rin sa ISCOF. Actually, we have more than 800 students, graduate school students po.
Wow.
Sa
God.
Iloilo State College of Fisheries.
From different provinces yan, ano?
Yes, ma'am. From
Very
different
good, very good.
So right
provinces.
now with that, how many students you have all in all?
All together, yeah.
All together.
We have 4,000 plus students.
In your school?
No, in all campus alone.
All
Pero
campus.
dito, ISCOF BN is one of the campuses na may pinakamaraming enrollment. So, 1,200 plus or
Ang
300
sa'yo?
plus yung students namin sa ISCOF BN. Ito yung campus na may pinakamaraming enrollment.
Ano sa iyo? The one that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
own.
Yes, ma'am, Joe.
Oh, wow. I'm very impressed. And
Very good, yeah.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
very,
good.
very.
Nag-o-offer din kayo ng online courses? I mean, or is it local only?
Yes, ma'am. Usually, yung mode of teaching namin ngayon is more on virtual.
Online.
Kahit sa graduate school namin, online classes din kami. So wala kaming face-to-face instruction now. Pero we are also offering this kind of modality yung sa mga faculty, mga students namin at times na hindi makakapunta, meron ding online instruction sa kanila.
I have a question.
Online pero local. Wala kayong...
Yes, hindi pa kami nakapag-expand ng ganon.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I have a question. How much per unit in your like masteral, in your doctoral, how much is it?
I am not really sure about it, pero we actually very minimal lang yung
Minimal
fee
siya, no?
namin. Yes,
Ano
kasi
siya?
SUC siya eh.
Oo.
Government kasi siya, kaya medyo mura siya. Government.
So, if I'm not mistaken, pero siya, kung sa aton pabala nandiyan, barato lang gid siya.
Oh, barato lang.
Especially
Tita
if it's,
Josie, alam mo yung barato? Baka hindi mo pa alam ang barato.
Ko,
Alam mo.
mura.
Oh,
mura.
Right.
okay. Wow, I'm very happy. It's just
Ang dami
we don't
nating
have that much time.
pinag-usapan.
I know. It's so exciting and
Yeah,
we don't have that much
dami.
time. But this time, Ems, very, very good. This is very informative. What what message you want to tell to the listeners
audience.
in regards to inviting them on the programs that you have in school?
Okay, intended for our faculty members. Aside from the faculty members of ISCOF, we also have invited the faculty members of other schools as our partner schools to join us in this training. So my message to our faculty members, no, I know that in this most difficult time, mahirap yung transition na gagawin natin, no, because we receive also negative feedback on the use of flexible learning modality. Because both teachers and students alike, we do understand, and it's very understandable naman na nahihirapan tayo, no, because this new normal that we are experiencing right now. But we have to be open-minded in accepting and in going out of our comfort zone and accepting the reality that we really have to do the shift, the migration to adapt to the changes of the environment, of the situation. And what actually matters most is the learning of our students, no? We are actually preparing them for life, and we have to ensure also na they have to learn something out of it. So I know na mahirap yon. It's a very difficult process, especially kapag nag-uumpisa ka pa lang. Pero we have to open our mind to all the possibilities and opportunities that may come along the way, no? Yeah. So we do understand kasi we have faculty members na syempre nahihirapan na sila to do the full migration, and we are part of this program. ISCOF Cares project is to help them, assist them, coach them, mentor them individually. So ito yung gagawin namin. So one trainer will be assigned particular faculty members na ito yung iti-train mo.
Coach.
And you will never stop unless this faculty member will be able to adapt the new system that we have to use right now.
Individualized coaching talaga.
Yes.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you, Ems. I'm so glad we will have little words of inspirations from all of us. And I want to start from Tita Josie. We still have 5 minutes left.
Well, my quote for today is that it's very simple, and we always have this as part of our everyday life. I have never give up on the things that made you smile.
Wow.
Correct.
Smile na lang tayo, Bacolod City yan.
Lagi na lang.
City of Smile, okay.
City of
Tita,
Smile.
that's it?
Yeah. Okay. I'm a teacher and will always be a teacher. You know. So my quote is very related to education and what you teachers do, whether you're in the highest level, or in the preschool level. This quote says, if you plan for a decade, plant trees. But if you plan for a century, teach the children. And that's what you're doing there, Emmeline, and your colleagues and all the other teachers back home and around the world. Good luck to all of you.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you, Tita Paset. That is
You're
very
welcome.
inspirational. Ems?
Okay, so my quote of the day is, whatever you do, choose to do your best. By doing so, you can do anything. What you plant now, you will harvest later.
Right.
Wow.
Excellent. Excellent.
Grabe. Ito, ang ending ko dito is, 2 things help you to be successful in life. The way you manage when you have nothing, and the way you behave when you have everything.
Something. Very good. Very good.
Thank you very much, Ems. Your
Very
story
nice.
is very inspirational. How I wish we will have more knowledge to gain from you. Baka ma-invite ka namin next. Kaya daw parang dami pa tayo, tita. I-question sa kanya real, professionally talaga. So, hindi pa namin na-ask sa iyo ang mga
Marami pa.
anong nakita mo sa mga schools ng mga bad practices. na dapat
Okay,
natin
yes.
i-change.
Right.
Mga advocacy ng mga teachers that
That's
we will make change. Correct? Right.
Correct.
Thank you very much, Tita Josie, Tita Paset,
Thank
and my
you.
best friend, Emeline. Thank you so much.
It's a
Thank
Thank you also for inviting me here. This is a great privilege for me. Thank you for asking me to share also my experiences to inspire other teachers as well.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Yes, thank you.
Good luck. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.